this is Miss Leslie Powers. I guess I was going to say those. We met when I was, no, she was your age, 15, I guess, 16, 15 or 16?
I started when I was 13.
Right, so well, anyway, approximately 35 years ago we met each other, so we were both kids, and we began training under Grandmaster Sang Lee, and you know, people often, I don't talk about it too much, but Taekwondo has been a big part of my life since I was 15 years old.
Dad,
And
Dad.
And again, the city facility. And the relationships you make and you meet, I mean, you know, we were talking about this a little bit on the phone today because we've traveled around the world a lot of times around the country, going to nationals and different tournaments, and then ups and downs, and then as adults, from little kids to young, you know, to young adults to now not as young adults, I guess is the right part. But you know, just to understand a little bit also about the lineage, you know, I mentioned this I think to you right before class. In 1986 and 87, she was U.S. national champion both years. And then the Olympics were coming up in 1988. And she, you know, it wasn't about just the sport, which is, I think, is a really wonderful thing, because if you watch a sport Taekwondo today, it's almost embarrassing for me to watch it. Some people say, is that what you did? Say, no, that's not what I did. But in 1988, we had the Olympics, and Dana He was a girl that came to the nationals and just could not, it wasn't even close. She decided not to go in the 88, and Dana He won the gold medal in 88. So that's the level that the Pan Am champion, and probably more importantly, mom. Nowadays, mom. But again, hi, Birdie. And what's really neat is, again, the relationships that you forge they go beyond, and I see a lot of the people that focus just on the sport. Why do we have respect? Yes sir, no sir, Taekwondo custom. Because it builds the foundation, and it builds the foundation for more than just learning good Taekwondo. Sammy Pejo, who's our junior, who's up in Colorado Springs. I've known him since he was probably 8 years old. Then he joined Taekwondo. We all came through the path together. He's my daughter's godfather. A friend of mine asked me one time, he said, why do you guys do all the senior, junior stuff? It's like, this is family. This is, I mean, you know, we gosh, drove in cars for hours to go to tournaments. But again, we watched each other grow up. And it's just crazy, because I don't think I'm 50. Anyway, if you'd like to say a couple words, I'm just going to be quiet.
And on this side, I think, you know, to that piece of that family, even though, you know, we may go long periods of time without really talking, it's like real family. When you see each other, it's like no time has passed. And there's this sense of family that's very real. And that is one of the things that you can carry with you from your experience in Taekwondo, is you create a family. And the activities that you do outside, you know, even beyond this dojang, this space here that you're practicing in, really can create those deep bonds. So I encourage you to get to spend time with each other in that way, to go to tournaments, to have meals after class, things like that. Because Taekwondo is really, it's more than the punching and the kicking. And I know that when I was 13 when I first started Taekwondo, and I was with a friend of mine riding our bicycles, and we saw this brand new Taekwondo school open, and we were like really excited. We went and saw the opening demonstration with Master Sang Lee, and from that day I was like, I'm going to do this, I want to do this. And I forget how much longer it was, but it wasn't, you know, maybe 6 months, but then I signed up. And I think I was only a yellow belt, and Master Lee pulled me into his office and he said, you could be national champion. And I was like, what? I gotta be. Because when I started, I didn't have a lot of confidence. I didn't have a lot of poise. I was a very shy teenager. I was pretty insecure. And I have to attribute my evolution of confidence as into young adulthood to Taekwondo. Taekwondo in my practice really gave me a sense of confidence and self. You know, I went from being really, really shy to being in demonstrations, you know, I don't know how many, lots of them, performing, you know, demonstrating in front of the public, being on radio, being on TV, going to nationals. So there's really something very deep that can transform in you as a person, in your character, through the practice. And it's hard to explain that other than through the experience of doing it. And sometimes it can be really a difficult thing. Sometimes, you know, you're being pushed to do things you don't want to do, or it becomes hard or uncomfortable, or, you know, and I think it's that perseverance through those times and not giving up that really do help in that transformation. It's that Shangshin Tongil, Taekwondo spirit, the indomitable spirit. And so for whatever reason you're getting into Taekwondo, you're going to get something, probably something you didn't quite expect. And that's also a gift of practicing. And I think it will change you in some way or another. And I think even now, many years later, I haven't actively practiced. Every once in a while, I have the itch to kick. I love practicing. You know, I love training. I enjoy that, whether I was going to go to a tournament or not. I think I would have enjoyed joining the group and like kicking and getting tired. You know, this guy was a really good guy to have to train with because he always made us laugh, and he would sing and rap while we were like ready to die, and we would like laugh enough to get us through. And when we were training and getting up at 5:30 in the morning, meeting at 6 o'clock to go running in the hills in Binghamton, New York, when it was, I swear, 3 degrees out. 3 of us showed up, David, me, and one other guy named Tom. We were the only ones that showed up. David was reliable. You know, you have a good man.
That's the time my nose froze.
Yeah, that's the time we went back.
The tip of my nose was actually ice solid
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
the wind chill was about 20 below that morning.
Tom was like, David, don't touch your nose. Don't touch your nose. And David's like, what?
Of course, the first thing you're going to do, don't do it. Whoa.
It was totally white.
But it was those were.
Yeah,
those were.
it's like he had a nose. So anyway, enjoy, appreciate, and enjoy the transformation. Yeah. And I used to live in Albuquerque. I loved it here. I lived here for about 6 years, from 92 to 97, somewhere in there. And I loved it. I didn't think I would leave. I love New Mexico. I ended up leaving because I think I got a call from him.
We can't get away from each other,
yeah,
right?
He said, hey, Leslie, come up and to Colorado Springs, you know, join the family up here, work with Sabonim. So I had just lost, I had my apartment, I lived in, the house was going up for rent, my job was sort of the grant was coming to an end, I'd broken up with my boyfriend. It was like this very clear time to say, okay, maybe I need to go back. And I went back and worked at the U.S. Taekwondo Center and kind of reconnected with David and Sammy and several of my other seniors and old original Stanley tribe, and worked there for 3 years up until the 2000 Olympics. And so there was lots of memories, lots of good experiences from a different angle, and allowed me to kind of go back and I guess heal in some level from my decision not to go on to the Olympics, because that was a big decision to not go. And you can't make a decision like that without second guessing yourself. And so going back to working at the Taekwondo Union was an important experience for me to kind of come back full circle and be part of that Olympic movement in a different capacity. So anyway, and I'm a clinical social worker. I've worked in the field of mental health for a lot of years, and that was really where I think my calling was and where I've gone, and evolving into working in more of a wellness perspective, moving towards health and wellness coaching. So I see myself coming back into the physical, based work as well as part of that. So anyway, life is a big evolution.
It is.
Thank you for inviting me to come on.
No, thank you. So, she'll be around for pictures and autographs.
No autographs.
No. No, but it's interesting though too that you talk about the healing, because when there's so much more to. When we were young, we got wrapped up in the sport, and again, as I watch, and I keep loosely related, and I watch the Pan Am Games, the Olympics, it's embarrassing to me because, and it's a shame because the discipline, the focus, the honor. And here's the thing, and the gentleman that was asking me about why we do the senior junior, it was Juan Moreno, who was a 3-time Olympian, and as an athlete, he was incredible, and a very nice young guy, but you know, we're very formal. If Master Lee walked in and we were sitting down, we would stand up. We still, I don't call him, hey, Sang. We just don't do that. That's not our relationship. And he asked me one time, we were at the 2004 trials, I think, or 2000, maybe, I don't know, 2004. And Sammy Payo, our junior, asked me, he said, hey, do you want some coffee? So he brought me my coffee. When he handed me my coffee, he did two hands. Bob Moreno said, that's ridiculous, man. You guys take the senior, junior too seriously. I said, why? He goes, well, he knows, not only did he bring you coffee, he knows how you like it. I said, well, let me put this in perspective. I said, we've been knowing each other for almost 30 years at that point. We lived together on numerous occasions. He asked me if I wanted a cup of coffee. I didn't say, go get me coffee. He asked me if I wanted a cup of coffee. I said yes, and because we know each other so well, he knows how I like it. And because we respect each other, he's a good junior because I'm a good senior, because I try to be a good junior to my seniors as well, because that's what carries on. And if you look at his path, while he's a tremendous athlete and he coaches great athletes, nobody stays.